Inside Out 2 hit cinemas and broke countless records, and I've seen a lot of people online saying the reason for it is because it went back to true Pixar. There was no Disney woke elements, you might say, shoved into our faces. However, if you watch the film, there are a lot of instances where Pixar could have taken Inside Out 2 into a very different direction, such as making Riley part of the LGBTQIA+ community. Now, if you've been on this channel for a while, you will know we have made several videos theorizing whether Riley might be gay, and if you want to check out those videos, there'll be a link down below in the description, or there'll be cards you can go and click. But Inside Out 2 never explicitly says anything. Well, it turns out today there was a massive reason for that. Pixar was not allowed to be gay in this film. So today we're going to discuss what Disney stopped their creatives from doing, and it's quite shocking. A report from IGN lays out some pretty disturbing instances in making Inside Out 2, which basically says Disney required Pixar to ensure that Riley was less gay and less associated with queer ideologies. And to achieve this, the team had to re-edit loads of scenes from the film in order to stop Riley from being gay. Ironically, over the last few years there have been fans complaining about how Disney makes everything gay now, and that when they don't, their films are way more successful. And it seems with Pixar at least, Disney is heading down that mentality. The report says they blame the sole failure of Lightyear because Buzz's best friend was a lesbian and it featured a same-sex kiss. Personally, I think that is just absolutely ridiculous to suggest that one scene was the reason why Lightyear failed. I actually loved that film, but maybe it failed because it was released during a time when going to the cinema still wasn't great, and you'd already damaged Pixar's reputation by releasing so many of their films straight to Disney+. The sources stated that executives at Disney were uncomfortable with the film's queer themes and therefore told animators to make Riley less gay. And if you watch the film back, you can clearly see where the film could have led if Disney hadn't interfered. The entire subplot of the film is all about Riley trying to impress Val and getting embarrassingly uncomfortable around her, with anxiety doing everything in her power with these new emotions to ensure that Val likes Riley. Riley goes to such extremes of breaking into the coach's office and dyeing her hair red so she can be more like Val and be more liked by Val, which to me could very easily suggest a massive crush, since she is just so obsessed with her. The animators were apparently told to go to the extra effort of depicting Val and Riley's relationship as solely platonic and have less romantic chemistry, such as editing tone and lighting to make the scenes appear less romantic. A source described it as doing a lot of extra work to make sure that no one would potentially see them as not straight. Not to mention, the huge amount of queer themes are all over the entire concept of this film. This film is all about puberty, and puberty is a very common time for people to begin understanding their sexuality, like if they are gay or straight. Riley is the only character to have mixed gendered emotions, whereas every other character we see has the same gendered emotions as their gender, like the dad and mum, suggesting Riley might not even identify necessarily as a woman or identifies as queer or non-binary. Some fans even stated feeling queer-baited at the end of this film, as the entire film was leading up to what Riley's big secret in the vault was, suggesting that it might be she likes girls, but then it ends up being a completely uninteresting throwaway line at the end credits. And it seems this was all a desperate attempt from Disney to quote-unquote save Pixar. They went as far as overworking staff to letting off staff with no additional bonuses. One source said that it was a life or death situation for Pixar, as they believed with the amount of box office fails they had received since the pandemic, focusing primarily on Lightyear's fail, that if Inside Out 2 failed, it could be the end of Pixar. With a source saying, "We need this movie to succeed because we won't have a studio otherwise." and to do so was to remove all the gay elements of Inside Out 2. The source says executives were worried with Pixar's overtly gay affection, and therefore leadership were censoring LGBTQ+ and allies to ensure their work didn't lean into this. They say leadership says, oh, Lightyear was a financial failure because it had a queer kiss in it, which means it looks like any form of Pixar becoming more progressive is going to go back by so much, considering Disney will now see the huge financial success of Inside Out 2 and decide that the reason for its success is because it didn't involve any queer stuff. And with Disney trying to save costs, they laid off 14% of Pixar's workforce after completion of Inside Out 2, so workers were working overtime, feeling like 24 hours a day, for many to just then be laid off. This quote from the source pretty much sums up what this means for the future of Pixar and Inside Out 3 when they make it. A lot of us accepted the fact that we may never see a major gay character in a Pixar movie. And to be honest, it's such a shame. I think Riley very easily could have been gay, and it sounds like from these reports that was Pixar's original plan, to make their first huge major character be gay, and that be Riley in Inside Out 2. And instead, Disney came in and decided the reason why Pixar is clearly failing is not because of Disney's fault, it's because they have made their films too gay. Personally, I completely disagree. What do you guys think? Let me know all your thoughts about this down below in the comments, and whether you agree with Disney's stance and that they made the right choice of making Riley not gay, and that's the reason why Inside Out 2 was successful, or whether you disagree with it and you think even if they had made Riley gay, the film still would have been successful. Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments, and as always, we've been here on Gated Theories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.